Hey, welcome back to Auto Transport Intel Dispatching Live. It's Thursday, it's noon. There's a bit of a new look to the show. We're excited that you're here. We're going to talk about load board search advice. Again, this is Dispatching Live with Sue and Jay every Thursday at noon. Sue is with Murphy Auto Transport. I'm Jay at Auto Transport Intel. And let's go to Sue. Let's get this thing kicked off, see what's going on. All right, Sue, can you see me and hear me okay? There we go. Now I got your audio on. Please say hello to the Dispatching Live.
Hello.
Hey. Okay, so as I said, I'm working on this. I'm working on the visual of the show. And in fact, why don't you go ahead and do this? Because we know you're not sharing your image because you're saving on bandwidth for the load boards. Will you
Yes.
share your screen and bring up those load boards, please? Ty
Yes.
says he loves the shirt. Well, thank you, Ty. So I've been working on Dispatching Live branding, and you can see me and hear me. Fantastic. Can you see and hear Ty? Sue? Okay. By the way, let's see. Let's raise that audio.
It says you have to, you have me disabled.
I got to share my screen. Okay, so for anybody that still thinks that Zoom is dangerous, let me tell you, it's not, because they've upgraded a lot of their security functions. In fact, now you can't share your screen until I let you. So my bad.
It
All right.
says,
Well, next Thursday during our test, please help me remember to do that.
okay, it says you cannot screen share while the other participant is sharing.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna
Wrong
give you.
thing.
I'm gonna give you permission. Okay, I
Okay,
gave you
fine.
permission, and I'm not sharing. Okay, so now it should work. Hey, I'm gonna
Okay.
say hello. So
All
Ty
right,
is
we're
here.
good.
Thanks for tuning in, Ty. Carlos
Hey,
Braxton,
bye.
ACV
Hey,
Logistics is
Carlos.
here. What's going on? I
Oh,
know Zoom is a great stock to buy. All right, so what are we seeing, Sue? It's
well,
Thursday. It's
first thing we're
noon.
gonna do, like I like to do, I like to show what's all on the board. So let's do that first, and see how many loads we got going. This- Okay. Let's see here.
Okay.
Well, maybe I'll show it now.
That's all right.
Let me
That's
see
all right.
something
And
else.
so now, okay, following the trend, by the way, the trend is that load volumes are up. It's starting to look like a more normal springtime into summer load board, right?
Yes, it's 48,000 loads, which is outrageous. I think that's
That
more than
is,
last week. I think we were
wow.
at 47,000 last week.
Well,
Yeah,
one could
that's a lot.
argue that after all that restraint, now it's just gone
Mhm.
crazy, right? So what does that mean
That's
for the
that's what I think.
rates?
The rates have actually gone up really well. For example, like I've got a guy in Dallas right now, and I was putting a minimum of 2 units on here at a time, just to try to. You know how it is. It's easier to do 2 packs, 4 packs, than try to pick up in 4 spots. And even if you take a little bit of money in the dip right there, I would still rather do it.
For sure.
Anyways, so
Save
I was kind
time.
of looking on here. There are 71 loads that are minimum of 2 packs on here. I didn't put an amount of money on here because I just wanted to kind of see what was going on. And like this is a 4 pack going into Louisiana, which I actually just took, so I've got that coming in here shortly. And Louisiana is actually not bad to get out of right now either. The loads, because I think a lot of people aren't going there because of the virus, but right now there are a ton of loads out of Louisiana. So if you thought you couldn't go there, you can. Like here, if you're going not very far, here's a news got 2 4 packs going up there. I think that's the same spot. Yeah, they are. And look, you can go to Truckify from there if you wanted that load too. You want me to do that? You see it?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, go ahead. I love it. Yeah, do me a favor. Highlight that, copy and paste. Because anybody that doesn't
Uh,
know how the Truckify link works, it's a new era in car hauling software. There's all kinds of changes happening, and this kind
yeah.
of web-based URL is that kind of thing. So what you do is copy and paste. You'll log into your dispatch center account, and you can go right to the load. And now you're in the load board where you
Yes, sir.
can book it and negotiate.
Hmm.
Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
Kyle, Reynolds Family Transportation. What's up, Jay? He's back, says, can I see Texas and surrounding areas? Been waiting over a week to get access to Central Dispatch. So, yeah, Kyle, we're going to take a look for
we're
it.
at in Texas.
Yeah, we're at in Texas. By the way, Ty wants to know if the 3 out of KC will be delivered today.
3 out of KC.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything out of KC.
Ask Sue
I
if
had some
the...
out of.
Oh, I'm sorry, out of OKC. My bad.
It was, as
Human
far as I know, they
error.
were already delivered.
They were already delivered?
Yeah, they've already been delivered.
Already been delivered. Do you know when that was? Was that yesterday?
I thought that was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Yesterday, if not mistaken, is the answer.
Yes, that's what I have. Yeah. And then tell them I have someone picking up the Tundra in Lowell, Arkansas today, too.
Oh, somebody's picking up the Tundra in Lowell, Arkansas today, too.
Yeah.
Hey, Kyle says Cypress, Texas, 700 miles in any direction.
Cypress, Texas.
So you may notice,
Did
in
you say
fact,
700 miles?
700 miles. Yeah. So, how are you going to do that search? This would be a good time to go to the map. By the way, Cypress, is that? Remind me, Cypress, idea. Houston, or Dallas?
It's going to be near Houston. I don't think it's
right.
Real.
It's like a Beaumont or something.
Yeah, let's look it up. Texas.
Or is it closer to the port?
No, it's only 30 miles north. And just so everybody knows, Houston is usually a really, really hard place to get out of. Right now, the loads are there though, and they're good rates.
In fact, a good search for Kyle, near Houston. A good search for Kyle might be how to make money coming back into Houston. Is that even a possible search?
You go to Louisiana. Yeah, there's the places we usually go from Houston. I mean, actually, to be honest with you, there's a lot of loads that always go into Houston. It's getting out. So pretty much wherever you go, you can come back in. But your best places for better rates are going to be Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, sometimes Tennessee. Arkansas usually pays really well. I've noticed it wasn't very good this week, but usually, like if you go to Fayetteville or Little Rock, you can go down to Houston for good money. This week they were non-existent, but usually it's $350, $400 a car, which is like 70 cents a mile plus. Kansas City, St. Louis is always good places to go down to Houston for. But getting out is the main thing with Houston. It takes a minute to get good loads. Right now, you're fine. So 700-mile radius, I would say, is going to be. I think Atlanta might be too far. Let's see.
So, all right. So, synopsis, Kyle. And by the way, I asked Kyle what his capacity is. I'm going to guess, I think it's like 4. Okay. But what you would do is, take your U.S. map there, Kyle, and you've got, so we're looking at Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, east side of Texas. Although you could swing over to, you can hit other parts of Texas. You know, find deals.
The other side is going to be
53-foot 4-car. Mm-hmm. Okay. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. I don't even know if he needs to go as far as Atlanta, because that's when rates start to drop, I think.
Well, usually yes, and I wouldn't normally tell you to do it that way, but it's been doing well lately.
That's good.
But I usually, out of Houston, do shorter miles. Yeah, Albuquerque's going to be too far. So let's just do Alabama, Arkansas.
In fact, I think we're going to be helping Kyle here for several minutes, because he can't even get into Central. So this is like sheer benefit. Okay. He's going to get advice and access. How about that? Yep. Gosh, what if Central Dispatch offered this show? Oh, well. I know.
That's who you need to contact. All right. So let's see. I think that'll round it up there. That looks like that should cover all those states. Just so Kyle knows, if you don't want to do crap loads, put in a minimum of $200 so you're not taking stuff under $2.
Yeah, always have a minimum pay. Not only a minimum cents per mile, but a minimum pay.
Okay, so it looks like there's 115 loads. Let me change this parameter here real quick. We're gonna make it so it shows all. And so just so y'all know, you can make it up to 500 listings, which is what I recommend. And you always want to put it highlighted at the top so you can see any of the new loads that come up. All right. So.
Yeah, we can throw it away.
I kept it. Did that just change on me? Apparently it did. Hold on.
Did you?
Let's try this again. This
Well,
is another thing that happens, so make sure it doesn't change on you.
Oh, hey, there you go. Exactly. By the way, I just want to mention to the folks, so while she's doing that, is that okay? So I got my dart, and I've got my flag. Okay, and that's part of the new branding and execution of what we're gonna do here. It's funny that we're looking at Houston because I've always said when I was a dispatcher, booking out of Houston is like throwing a dart at a spinning dartboard. So that's actually part of the branding reason. And the last week we were talking about there should be a way to referee this deal. There should be flags on the play. I got the referee shirt, so we're ready to go. Okay.
So it looks like these aren't too bad, but you have to, with Direct Express, you have to be in business for a year. Ready, you won't get signed up with unless you're already signed up with them right now because it's been 2 years since they've taken on anybody new.
Yeah, in fact they say I think Ready says they've got like over 6,000 carriers in their system.
Probably true, but I guess that there's probably maybe 20% that probably are no longer in business.
See, that's exactly, and that's my guess too. So that would mean that would allow for another 20% to come back in. But
yeah,
I don't know how you manage 6,000 carriers. But anyways.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure CarsArrive has that many. I'm sure Metro has that many because anybody that wants good rates usually want to sign up with the big brokers. And yes, they require you to jump through a few more hoops than a normal broker does, but it's well worth it. And most of the big brokers pay you right away. They either ACH or they pay you with a com check. So to me, it's worth doing. There are some good loads on here going into Alabama. It looks like it just depends on his 4-car. Is he a 4-car like two double deck or
I think 53 foot. I'm guessing he's got a flipper, so he could put a sedan on the flipper or an SUV, and then 3 on the flat. That's what I think.
No, if he's only 53 foot, he's fitting 3 only. For him to fit 4, he's going to need a flipper on the front and the back to make him at least 56 to more than that. It's going to be almost near to impossible to put because the average car length right now is 16 foot. So you can't put 4 16-footers on there. And I have a computation that I've made up to make sure that 4 can fit on these guys like that, which we'll have to do one time. I'll type it up and you can show it on the screen. But that way I know that they'll always be able to fit those 4.
Yeah, hey, I'll tell you what, Kyle. What's your exact make of trailer, so that we can look up? And he said, okay, he's driving a semi. There's a plus. 61 feet of space. 4-foot flipper on both front and back, like you said, Sue. Flippers on the front and the back.
Okay.
By the way.
Okay, then that's good.
And that sounds like extensions. When I say flipper, I'm talking about a hydraulic deck.
Oh no, he's got the extensions.
He's got extensions, right?
Yeah. Which you can with a 61 foot. If you get the small enough cars and you get the right combination, you can carry 4.
Well, I know. Well, that's why, and I'm just gonna say it. That's why we made up imaginary 4-car. It's not truly imaginary, but it's not always realistic. Yeah, extensions. Now, 1999 Beatrice. It's a rare trailer. And when I say these things, I'm just trying to keep it real. I don't want to, I'm not trying to be a total pessimist. I'm just trying to be a realist.
Well, right now, I would tell you either Tennessee, Memphis. They're not spectacular. The problem is Houston is a big truck area or big vehicle area, so you got to watch your sizes, especially with what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
57 cents a mile is not bad for out of Houston. It's usually more in the 30-cent range, so I don't think that's too bad.
And so you're looking at so that's two from Houston to Nashville. kind of a
Yeah, there was another one
might
up
be
here,
a
but they're
third one.
big.
Yeah.
Like here's another one. It's only 45 cents a mile. Right now the rates are high, so you could probably get away with asking them for at least 4 on that. But if you were to take this F-150 in that terrain, you already know you're not fitting 4 on there. That F-150 already throws you out.
And what you can do, Kyle, is you see the name of the company, you see the phone number, and this is
Uh-huh.
where Sue and I love to talk about who's posting the load. Because if you look at that terrain, bring that to center of screen for me. If you look at that terrain, the
Okay.
GMC terrain, U.S. Auto of Nashville and Repair. So you know that's a shop in Nashville where you could call them and say, hey, do you have a GMC terrain going from Houston to your location? And they say, yeah, we'll dispatch it over Central. You can say, listen, I'm not in front of my Central. Can you dispatch it to me? You know, something like that. Whereas you're not gonna be able to do that with every company.
No. And this one, I know these
Just an
people,
idea.
they might come up if they're desperate, but I will tell you, and more than likely it's at Copart or IAA, just because of, I
Yeah,
know who this
I'm
is.
sure it is.
Everything I've picked up from them is that. And those places down in Houston, sometimes you can wait for 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 hours to get loaded because they
Insane.
have so many cars.
Insane.
So just watch out for that because that can ruin your whole day. I mean, you're just done. And depending on which direction you come in from to go to Nashville, if you went a different way, you could drop Lawrenceburg. It's on the bottom side.
Hey,
But like,
here,
and I like NAC,
here we go,
but it's a
Sue.
big.
Speaking of truth, okay, Kyle says, what's taking Central so long to accept me?
How long has he been waiting? It usually takes a week to 2 weeks, and I don't know why. It just that started like over the last couple of years that they're taking forever to sign up. Personally, my opinion is this: they're working on a skeleton crew because this is just basically a load board, and they've only got probably 2 or 3 people working, and it takes a minute to verify all your credentials, and I'm sure they get signups on a regular basis. Is what I'm thinking.
Okay, and I think that's a good synopsis. So let's go to the business synopsis. This is owned by Cox Automotive, and they're charging 100 plus a month. Why would you have a delay in
Right.
signing up?
True. I agree. I
Because
would think they'd want all the money they could get.
I mean, you're right. Because just if the bathtub's already full of money, get another bathtub. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just an idea. I mean,
I would.
if we ran this past Mark Cuban, I imagine he might say something similar. Why would you have a delay on a sure money making thing? Actually,
It
I
used
don't
to
even
be
know.
when,
I can't come up with
yeah, when
anything.
we first started, it was like that day you got signed up and you were already on the
Exactly.
board.
I remember that day too. In 2015, it took 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah,
That's my recollection. I might be speculating. So let's
you
do
can
this.
also
Here's
do Huntsville too with
we're gonna
Nashville.
keep searching for Kyle for another few minutes, and then we're gonna go to Heather Wall. She's got a request, but I
Okay.
like helping Kyle because he doesn't have access. So we
Well,
have a lot of
and just so you
compassion on
know, like
dispatching live.
if you were going to Nashville, you can go through Huntsville to go the bottom side. You just got to watch your miles on when you're doing stuff. Like we'll just put it in here. I want to show. And I always use Google Maps because you can change your route. As you can see, it normally takes you through Memphis. You can drop this down to over here though and go through Huntsville like that, and it'll show you what your path would be. And I always recommend doing that. That way you can see exactly how much miles you've got into something if you're going to go a different route. Which also means if you're going to go this route, you could do Birmingham as well. And I know there's a Birmingham on here. Hey Ryan. But it's another big one. Oh, and it's also wrapped. So
Which he can't get well. So Kyle, are you signed up with anybody? Are you signed up with Ready Auto? Well, he's not signed up with CarsArrive. I was going to ask him that too. How long has he been in business? I don't want to get personal, but obviously these are all factors with load boards and brokers.
Yeah, and CarsArrive is 90 days. RPM is 90 days. Carvana is 90 days. United Road is 6 months. Um, Wholesale is a year. All of them, all the big brokers have their own little things that you have to follow. And I consider it as earning your stripes in this business. You're going to have to deal with what you deal with from the very beginning. And then as you become more experienced and get more ratings underneath your belt, then you get to haul for the bigger brokers. I kind of think it's fair in a way, except I think the year-long thing I think is exceptionally too long. I think 90 days is perfect. That way, if you screw up, you screw up with the other ones before you try to get to the bigger brokers. Is the way I look at it. So.
Well, no, and that's why, like, I actually, with like that Nashville company, I know that there's going to be some headaches in there, but like FNS Trucking said in the live chat, this is just the beginning of your headaches. Which is actually, again, that's why Dispatching Live, this show has a bit of a, it's a little, we're like 5% ridiculous, because I'm telling you, this process is 5% ridiculous.
Oh yeah, easily.
It's full of insanity.
Some of this stuff you're doing every day, all the time, and you're dealing with the same type of people, but some people grasp what's going on, and some people don't. Because I've dealt with brand new brokers on here that don't even know how to dispatch a car, and I have to train them how to dispatch a car, which is crazy.
All right. Kyle says his DOT and LLC have been good since 2012. He just reactivated, and cool. he this is Reynolds Family Transportation, who we're searching for right now. So his DOT and LLC have been good since 2012.
He can get set up with everybody except for Ready Auto.
Yeah, just say that, right? Well, but he just reacted. I think he's saying he just reactivated his authority. Isn't that going to show his new authority?
No, not if it's reactivated. It should show the original date. That's what some of my other guys have done.
Okay.
The only difference is you still won't have ratings. Like Metro requires 20 ratings.
Right. He won't have any ratings.
Yeah. And wholesale is going to require you, not just the year, they require you to have, 100 ratings and 50 in the last 6 months. So he'll probably not be able to sign up those.
And you've got to have 10,000 Twitter followers.
Yeah.
That'll be next.
Probably.
I'm telling you, 5% ridiculous. That's good information, Kyle. By the way, listen, Kyle, if you have a question, because you're getting, Sue, I always forget, what's your email address? Murphy?
It is Murphy Auto Transport 31 at yahoo.com.
You are getting information from Sue at Murphy Auto Transport right now. And if you want to follow up with her, because this show will end just as do all good things, you could follow up with her. I just put her website, her email address in the live chat. And again, you guys, I really appreciate Sue at Murphy Auto Transport for her wisdom and time. And she'd be happy to lend a little to you in reasonable portions. Kyle said he's going to contact you. So that's Kyle from Reynolds Family Transportation LLC.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
I can help you out. Any questions you got to ask. There's so much information to this industry. I will never be able to answer everything until you come across it. Let's put it that way.
And then you can make notes, because you can add those, because you're building. I know you're building some kind of larger program over there. I know you've got something going on. You're cooking in the kitchen.
Well, yeah, my plan is I'm going to have more dispatchers, and that's what I'm trying to do is build up more clientele for all the dispatchers. I'm planning on having another 10 dispatchers as we slowly build this up. And they'll be spread out all over the United States. So there'll be some people that will be able to handle, East Coast, West Coast, or, Midwest. So that's what we're building on right now.
Awesome. Okay, so let's switch gears here. JR, who is actually using Heather Wall's YouTube account, he says he doesn't have enough time to make his own YouTube account because dispatchers are illegal, and that's keeping him busy. But anyway, so when we see Heather Wall, it's really JR. JR wants to know if you can search. We're doing Wichita, Kansas, 100 miles to all for Monday.
Oh.
3 cars.
Oh, Wichita is horrible. Let's see.
Is it?
Usually the best loads that come out of Wichita are going to go down to Texas almost always. Let's go look. I'm going to take this off because I might as well.
Okay, so F&S went ahead and identified one of the elephants in the room. Can you give transport company ratings? What's your take on that?
I do it for any of my new drivers. I do it with all of my companies so they don't look like they're brand new. I don't generally just hand them out to people.
I know.
I mean, if they talk to me about it, I would consider it. But always I do it for all my new drivers because they usually do not have any ratings, and most people do not like to give loads to people who do not have ratings on Central.
And the problem is, if you start giving out ratings to people you barely know, man, do other people have a problem with that.
Like, what was the last part?
If you give a rating to a company you don't really know and other people find out, they will come down on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is really frowned upon, and it's unfortunate, and it's hard to figure out what to do because you want to help other companies, but I don't know. Can you give it? Well, how about this? Can you give a positive rating after you have a 20-minute cup of coffee?
Or a hot beer.
Right. All right. I think a hot beer should do it. Sue, I have a 53-foot low pro. I can do big trucks and vans going to Texas. Now you're talking, JR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah, because that's what Texas wants. Big trucks and vans.
Well, it looks like Wichita is not pretty at the moment.
Yeah.
It usually isn't. I'll be just straight with you. Unless you have to go to Wichita, I don't recommend it. It's hard to get out of there. This would work. ACV is great, and you can sign up with them real easy. You got a Bentonville, you got a Little Rock. Those will work together. If you have a winch, you could take this F-250 through Fort Smith as well. So there's 3 going into Arkansas right there, but I don't know what you got as far as what you fit.
I asked JR, do you have a winch? Do you have a winch? And you know what? That's another good one, Sue. That's where I like to. This show is full. He does have a winch. Full of pro tips. If you are building your business, get a winch.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so
my guys have them, use them.
So Elite has that Wichita to Little Rock, and that's where I'd call them and say, hey, do you have anything else to go with it? And what happens? You know what they say? Not them, but I've asked this question so many times, and many brokers are like, well, I've got an Alaska to the Philippines. Can you take that?
Yes. Yes, I get that told me all the time too.
Are you even looking at a map? What are you doing?
I would get, if you're not signed up with ACV, I would take this one. I know Hutchinson is up north a little bit, but it's paying $1 for a mile. So I would consider it. Let's run this route. I'm just curious, and we can see what it actually ends up paying. So we're going to put in Hutchinson. Jim, do you got to go get him?
In 20 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah, no. I'm
Kansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Fort Smith, Arkansas, and then
by the way, here's just a question for the audience. Can you see the screen well enough? Are you looking on your computer? Are you on your phone? Are you driving? I'm just curious. I'm not scared to go out of the way to get loaded, says JR.
Okay, so if you start, so we're going to say Hutchinson, we're going to go through Wichita, but these are your drops. So it's 534 miles. So you're looking at, if he's a 3-car, we're going to double it. So we want to make it as close to $2 a mile as we can. So we're at 360, 575, and 275. So that's $1,210 right there. And your mileage is only 1,070. So you're way over that if you have a winch. I would do that run if I had a winch, and it would fit. If you're a 3-car, that's going to be tough to fit, I'll be honest. You're not going to usually fit an F-150 and F-250 on there at the same time. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But if you didn't want to do Little Rock and you ended up in Fort Smith, these two together are paying good too. If you just did, let's kill Little Rock. So you're looking at only 376 miles if you did the two together. So you'd only need $752 to make that work, and you're there. You're way there. I know people don't like to go with two cars, but when you get mileage like that or something like that, you go with two cars. You're over your mileage right there. Then you can load out of Fort Smith as well, which there's a company that posts loads out of there called Express 4x4 that runs a lot of stuff out of Fort Smith, just so you know.
Did you get that, JR? Because there's some good, she's got some interesting advice here. Believe it or not, so I have put 3 trucks on this trailer. I currently have 4 cars on it. I can fit easily. So, so you're okay. Yeah. Can you check box those, Sue?
Yeah. Yep.
I want to see it by itself there. I want to see the loads and I want to see the map. And
there you go. And then I'll put back in the Little Rock one.
Yeah.
So
JR, Sue's working on your route right now. Carlos is driving. Thank you, Carlos. Are you able to? So here's a question, Carlos. While you're driving, I know you guys, you have everything mounted, and you're good to go. Are you able to see the screen okay and hear us okay and get the information okay? It's actually good feedback for dispatching live because we want to help. The whole point of this show is to help dispatchers and carriers with their searching of the load boards. Discuss, tips and best practices. There's also new folks in here getting advice. People that aren't even signed up with Central Dispatch yet. So I consider this a public service.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm set up with ACV and Ship Your Car now. I'm calling them both. Dude, JR is dialing the phone on your route. That's awesome. Man, I love that. Thank you. Sue, thank you for searching the route. JR, thank you for participating in the show. This is what it's all about. Anyone have a contact at Central Dispatch? Oh, so I used to, and I got rid of it because it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Is that your experience? By the way, I want Cox Automotive to know. I really want Cox Automotive on the show, which has been difficult lately to get them on the show, and that's okay. Everything is just a matter of timing. But this is really good feedback. Probably better feedback than some of the, I don't know if it's Zoom meetings or web conference now. But the feedback from this show is gold, you guys.
Yeah.
But timing is everything, and I get it. No problem. I can hear you, but I'm not looking at the screen. Even better. All right, cool. Which is why, actually, that one of the ideas is to turn this into a podcast for audio-only viewers, listeners. Jay, can you ask Sue if she knows what the requirements for Elite is? I never polled for them. Elite Auto Shipping. Now, are they based out of Kansas? I think so.
Let me see here.
I think it's a small broker, but I think they post a pretty decent amount of loads. And I think I've hauled for them in the past. So they've been around a while, I believe.
I know I have, but there's a bunch of different elites. Let me just put in Wichita going to Arkansas so I can.
Yeah. When the names are too general. That's why it's good to have a specific name. Like, even if it was like elitist. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Elite requires anything. ACV is going to want your cert. Let's look at Elite here. Ship Your Car now usually may want your cert. It depends.
Right. So again, the feedback on that was have your certificate of insurance ready for. Oh, these are out of New York. Have your certificate of insurance.
This is a different Elite.
It's a different one. Yeah, I know. There's several.
It's a different Elite.
Definitely have your.
I don't think you have a problem.
And really, everybody should have your certificate of insurance on speed dial going out, right?
Well, and I recommend always keeping your packet on Central because if most of the people on Central will use that packet instead of you having to go get a cert. So if you have your packet listed on there with your W-9, your MC authority, and your certificate of insurance, most times, then that's all you got to do. And I think Elite is one of those companies. If you have it on there, you can just get it. And ACV though, they'll give you the load, but they're gonna want you to get set up on their load board so that you can just go in there and take a load. Like let me go look and see if this load is on their board right now. Let's see.
So I made
run
it.
to smart
I just want to say this.
state.
I made a video in the past. I don't know if it's still relevant, but it's probably close, about how to keep your Central Dispatch document pack updated. So definitely do that. That's another good pro tip. Good call. Sue is now
You
logging
want to
into
just
the.
do it once a year. Every year when the year rolls over for 2019, 2020, you're going to want to update your W-9 and put it on there every single time. But
Exactly.
you have to send them the whole packet. They do not accept a partial. You have to give them the whole thing.
Updated exactly. You can't just send in your W-9. You have to resend in the packet. Updated W-9 is a must for so many brokers. And then actually, I think some brokers probably look at things like that to help make their decision whether they think you're a reputable company.
Well, that ACV board, that ACV load is not on here. However, that doesn't mean anything. I'm not seeing it, but I've had them not have them on the board and they were still available. Let's see here. Oh, wait, hold on. There it is. Sorry.
So you found it. You were able to verify the load you found on Central is still on ACV.
Yeah, and all you have to do is you click on the load like that, and you're going to select the job. And then you just put in there when you want to pick up, when you want to deliver. And that's all you have to do with that. And as long as it fits in their parameters, like nobody's freaking out needing the load right away. And setting up with ACV is really easy. All you do is go into this website of theirs, and your fastest way is just put in www.acv.com. But when you go in, I'm going to put not your account.
So
you just put in sign up. So then you sign up, you give them your email address and what password you would like. And then they're going to send you an email saying what they need, which is usually a cert and a W-9. And then they set up your account. And then you can go in on their board anytime, whether it's day or night, and request a load. And you'll usually get it within an hour.
Do me a favor, Sue. Go ahead and hit Control Plus twice. And just show that ACV landing page.
Load board?
Yeah. That sign-in link.
Yeah,
exactly. All right, that's good. So anyways, and I put a link in the live chat. If you want to get signed up with ACV, go to acvauctions.com/, and you can go to, actually, a better link is acvauctions.com/ATI.
Or this is what it too is transport.acvauctions.com is another way to go on there.
Either one works. Let's see here. And you know what, by the way, for the record, everybody knows this. This is just information. There are many different dispatch services across the United States. And even though some people say they're illegal, I'm not 100% positive of that. I think that they try to do a good job for carriers. There are different rates. There are different levels of service. And it doesn't hurt us any if you find what you think would be a more affordable service for you. But I would say this. Beware of services that have a low rate and offer a lot of stuff. If they're talking about getting involved in helping you register your authority, but they only charge 3%, I don't know. I'd watch out for that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. So just be careful. And yeah, man, we hope we're helpful. And you're welcome, JR. Let's see here. Do we have any other search load requests? I'm going to put it in again. What's your search load request? All right, because we're going to be here probably another 20, 30 minutes, and then shut it down. And we do this every Thursday. We're live for an hour. Oh, by the way, I wanted to ask you this. Carvana. How do you get signed up for the Carvana load board?
You go right here. I will show you.
Cool.
So you got to go to ePay Manager.
ePay Manager.
And let's see
Is that
See where it says,
epaymanager.com?
yep. And then right down here it says not registered. You go register here, and then you
Is that at the
start
bottom?
setting
Where you
yourself
at?
up. Yeah,
Not.
that's at the very bottom. You got to scroll down. See where where's my login
Oh, here we
information?
go. So,
So,
okay. I see. So I went to epaymanager.com. Here, I'm gonna show this because you're logged in. So here, I'm gonna take the screen
yeah.
for a second, then I'm gonna give it back. Is okay. So go to epaymanager.com, aka Carvana load board. Go to epaymanager.com and click on register. And now you can register. Once you get registered, company name, email address, USDOT, authority. Once you get registered, all right, Sue, go ahead and take the screen back.
Okay. So once you get registered, they'll get you set up pretty quickly. There's also another way to go about it. It's just you have to contact Carvana on one of their loads, and they will send you. In fact, let's just do that. You have to. Just a second. Shoot.
And go ahead and share the screen when you're able. Hey, Michael Colors here. Hey, what's up, Michael? I knew you'd make it.
Oh, that's right. Let me go back to that.
Auto sled.
Now.
You're right. Okay. Wow. Awesome. We'll talk about that. Thanks, Carlos.
Okay. So another way to sign up for Carvana is to go to. So what we're going to do is look for only loads listed for Carvana. This is another way to do this. But I recommend setting up for Carvana before you need the load, because then you might be totally
Amen. Do not wait. Oh, brother.
Yeah. So here, they've got right here where you can register for them. This is another way to do it, as you can see.
So
Anyways,
there's, okay. So you can copy and paste that link?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yep.
I want to see where that goes to. Let me, hang on.
Try it.
Let me, copy and paste. I wonder if that takes you to ePay Manager.
It might.
By the way, if you're enjoying Dispatching Live, please give up a like. I gotta say this honestly, you won't find a show like this anywhere. Nowhere else will you find live auto transport load board search advice. Nowhere else.
Oh, it took us to Carvana.
Took you to Carvana.
Okay,
What's
so
that?
when you go in here, that is Carvana. That's what we're doing. Is ePay Manager is Carvana.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, so if you were going to sign up, let's just put in. I'll put in one of my driver's DOT numbers here. 860122. It's going to tell me I'm registered. But anyways, this is what you do. You put in this. It tells you, then you decide who you are and that kind of thing. And then it just keeps going through. If you have your insurance already with RMIS, you will be automatically signed up with them. So that makes things a lot easier. I always recommend sending your cert to RMIS, which is a cert company for the whole United States. And a lot of the brokers are going to using that. And if you're signed up with them, then you're done. You don't have to go get the cert and send it here and do this and all that stuff. They just verify it with RMIS. And RMIS also keeps track of, like, if you don't make your payment and your insurance shut off, then you're going to be shut off with that broker, and that broker's going to contact you. So it kind of is a check and balance kind of situation going on.
That is awesome. You know what? I need to talk to them. Wouldn't that be a great Tuesday Nights Live?
Yes, absolutely. Because honestly, I wish every broker would use them. None of us would be requesting certs from all of these, our agents who, you know as well as I do, sometimes it takes hours to get one from an agent, and they act like you're bugging them to do it. The only time I've got a few companies that we can do our own certs online, which is cool, but doing a progressive cert takes a minimum of 10 minutes because you've got to go through 5 pages before you finally get to where you request the cert. So
awesome.
If they could handle it all, then I would do that. And hey, if that doesn't work out, there's some loads going to Atlanta on here too, out of Wichita area.
Wichita to Atlanta.
Yeah. I don't.
Okay.
Did you say you had a flatbed? Because there's a Can-Am Spyder, you'd have to have a flatbed on that one.
Right. Or at least, that'd be the best way to do it.
On here. I know these are only 51 cents a mile, 54 cents a mile, but getting out of Wichita for any decent amount of money is really, really hard, just so everybody knows. And these are all paying really good. They're all ready tomorrow. That one's ready tomorrow. So they would probably, usually if you're trying to book for Monday, they usually don't like to give you the loads, but if they're ready on Friday, a lot of times they'll let you do it for Monday. Like Russ is here for Culver. Culver Carriers is a great broker, just so y'all know.
Yeah, they're
I
out of
recommend
Atlanta.
that. Yeah. Actually, he's based out of, I thought, St. Louis area, isn't he? Yeah.
Well, I could be rusty.
Oh, Alabama. He's in Alabama.
Oh, he's in Alabama.
Yeah, I just do a lot of stuff out of
I
St.
think
Louis for him. That's a lot of his clients. But there's 4 on there going. If I had my 4 car, I would take every one of these. Because I have a flatbed. I could take that Spider too, but I just moved him into Louisiana. But there's more than 4 on here. There's a lot on here, actually. And this is the second one I've seen going in Indianapolis, but this is BWT, so don't bet on it being a good load. Their loads are never good.
Yeah. The only people that make money from those loads are
BWT.
holding.
Let's see. And it looks like there's loads going to Minnesota, but I don't recommend going to Minnesota right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, finally. We're going to talk about this for a second. We've gone from COVID lockdown to insanity.
Yeah.
Now, I want to make it clear that I'm personally horrified at what happened that got us here. And I don't even understand how we still, it's 2020. How are we still living this way? I have no idea. But when I read this morning that a portion of Seattle has been blocked off by protesters and it has been renamed the autonomous zone, did you hear this?
No, I hadn't heard that one.
You do not want to deliver a car to the autonomous zone, I guarantee it.
No.
Yeah, there's no police in the autonomous zone, or I don't think there's rule of law right now in the autonomous zone.
Wow. Yeah,
So,
I'd stay out of there then.
So, again, like trucking wasn't hard enough.
Right.
And so, right, and you're gonna haggle over chicken nuggets on an SUV. I just don't get it. And by the way, I want to say this too, is that, that last, 2 shows ago, I called it, wait 10 minutes for $10. Is that good?
Yeah.
Has anybody asked themselves this question yet? I mean, I'm sure a carrier that, has to open another can of pork and beans and that's his food for the day, he's asked that question. Right. But has anybody at a company that says they care about their carriers asked themselves if $10 makes any difference? I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it.
Well, right now, if that doesn't work out on the load, I would suggest Georgia, or there's stuff going to Dallas, and Dallas is hot right now, so there's a lot of loads out of Dallas. Like a plethora of loads out of Dallas, in fact. I think there was over 500, 600 loads just out of Dallas today, going everywhere. So, and I will tell you this, getting out of Dallas is a lot easier than Little Rock.
Well, and that's exactly, and I love your persistence on this, and that's where, because you're in this all the time, is you're thinking about, all right, what city are we going to get to that we can get out of?
And that's what you have to look at this. You cannot just take random loads and hope for the best. You have to, and especially if you don't know what the best places to go, you need to look at where you're going before you even start booking those initial loads, so you can see what kind of loads are coming out of the area you're going into, so you know if you can get out or not. Oh, see, there's 737 loads out of Dallas alone. That's a lot.
737 loads out of Dallas alone. That is a lot.
That is a lot for Dallas. It's been we should expect it. There's 48,000 loads on the board, so I kind of get it. It's just usually Dallas has been a struggle.
So, hey, so what's Olympia Motors? Because that's one of the things I look for. What are the brokers I keep seeing in a city? What's Olympia Motors? Okay, so are they doing
Let's see.
trucks out of Dallas?
I
That's
think
my
they
guess.
own. I think they're out of Albertville. I think you're taking the trucks to them.
Oh, they're bringing the
Yeah,
trucks
they're
to
a dealer.
Albertville.
Yeah,
A
yeah, they're a
dealer.
dealer.
There you go. All right. This is Ty at CTS Business Coaching Time. Talk to Olympia Motors. Find out what's going on. The problem is, here's the problem. How do you think that? What's that rate like to you? How does their,
I
what?
couldn't. I mean, that's cheap. You got an
That,
F350 in there,
exactly.
a 2500 and a 1500. Then they got another 2-pack up here, 2 F350s.
So they're not.
Um,
That's the problem. Is making a relationship with them. It doesn't look
Yeah.
like you're gonna make. But maybe they only post cheap on Central because that's their last ditch effort. Right?
I think no. I see them list on there all the time.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think they post them on there, and they probably usually post them cheaper than this, but because the rates are so high, they probably couldn't get them moved. Because I've literally had people list these loads, this size of vehicles, all the way to Atlanta for $300 a car.
And you
And
see that
there's
especially out of
Yeah.
Texas, right?
Oh, look, right here.
It's
This is
Truck
going to
City.
Birmingham. This is going to this dealership, and they've got 9 vehicles at 35 cents a mile.
Man, that blows. Hutchins, I think that's
yeah.
Odessa.
Yeah, that's Odessa. Let's see.
Auto Sled. Hey, do you know about Auto Sled?
They sent me they called me a couple times and they sent me an email. I have not had time to look at it. They're another EBOL system, I believe, right?
Well, I don't know much about them. I mean, I talked to somebody over there, and I believe it's a load board. I believe it's a mobile app, a dashboard, but I don't know. I don't know how they're marketing because I never hear their name. Yeah, so I don't know. But I want to know more.
That's not good.
And I think
That's your website.
I think I asked the guy. It's autosled.com. I think I asked the guy, "Do you know how many other auto transport software companies are out there?" And even if I remembered the answer, I wouldn't say it. But you know me. I mean, that's how I talk. I mean, we're talking turkey here. I mean, there's a lot of car hauling software out there.
I don't know if
you can't find autosled.com. Oh, weird. I just went to it.
I don't think. Oh, you did just now?
Yeah, go to autosled.com. Just type it in. Yeah, just type it in. Maybe it's not indexed in Google,
Okay,
but yeah, there you go.
Okay, there it is. Auto transport with AutoSled. Yep, it's an app. Says click with transporters and Ship.Cars. So yeah, you're right. They probably do have a load board too on here. Or trying to. There we go. So it's another EBOL system, and yeah, you're right. There are a plethora of these out there right now.
Oh my gosh! I mean, how many drivers say, "How many apps do I need?"
Yeah, that's the problem, honestly. And then now, like Metrogistics is making us use an app now too.
Which one?
Certus. They're here. Let me see if I've got.
What's the app that they want you to use? Because I do want to know. And I don't want to give you a name because I want to hear you say a name.
I don't know. I have to go to my email. It's their app that they want us to use, but none of my drivers have started using it yet because they don't want to.
Right, they don't want to.
When you use a PPOL system and it's approved by them, that should be where it should be good enough.
Well, and therein lies the rub. I knew when a company said we want to use our app, and then they said, okay, you can use that other app. I knew eventually they would say, yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore. We're going to go back to you have to use our app. And there's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason other than just competition. It has to do with client information and process. Yeah. I mean, it's part of their business.
They actually know when their car has been picked up and delivered for them instead of you having to call in or mark it on Central, or now Metro sends you a thing to your phone or to the driver's phone saying, have you picked, it's like an automated thing. And have you picked it up? Press number 1. If you're picking up today, press 2, and all this other stuff. So I get it. It's just that it's a lot for some of these drivers to change apps constantly to go from one app to another. And some of these guys are older. They don't want to mess with this crap. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't either. And then I have them get confused and they try to get on the wrong app for the wrong car and stuff like that. So
Kevin Lawson's got a search, and we'll end the show here in about 5 minutes or so. Kevin's looking for Tampa to anywhere 600 miles distance.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to be very far.
Or less.
We're going to do or less. Okay. Well, that's going to be Georgia, Alabama, Georgia, maybe Tennessee, but I think that might be pushing it. Let's put in Louisiana.
Thanks, Carlos. Appreciate that, buddy.
North Carolina, yeah, South Carolina.
And while Sue's putting in the ingredients of the formula, Carlos said it's called Vinlocity. Is that right, Sue? Is it called Vinlocity?
Yeah, that's it. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought, too, because I talked to
Is he
Dwayne
using
Davis. Yeah, there you go. Carlos, are you using Vinlocity? There's a good question of the day. And by the way, if you know of anybody that, you know what, wow, I know a great load board, I know a great car hauling mobile app, or I know somebody that should participate in this show or at least contribute, send them the email, autotransportintel@gmail.com, because there is something new happening in car shipping. It's called Auto Transport Intel, the car shipping business channel. I now go live 4 times a week. Tuesday nights live, Wednesday on auto conversion, Thursday is dispatching live, and Friday is cars on the move, dealers, auctions, and carriers. That's Auto Transport Intel, and we're here to help. That's the whole point.
Okay. There was a lot of loads, so I kind of, because it's snowbird season, there's a lot of loads out of Florida. Holy crap, there's still 961 loads.
Nice.
Out of Tampa. I think you could handle this pretty much wherever you want to go. Looks like there's 2 going to Birmingham.
961 loads out of Tampa.
And that was just to Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Tennessee. That's all I put in.
That's basically the Southeast.
That's a lot.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dang, you never see that, do you?
No, you don't. And look, like, this is a good load.
I was just going to say, grab that. Yeah, so you got, I mean, now Lake Wales 50 miles east of Tampa, but, you know.
You're going to go east to go out of there anyways.
Ocoee.
For you to go to Birmingham, you're going to go that way.
Yeah, this is awesome.
And if you can haul for CarsArrive, Tuscaloosa is southwest of Birmingham, so that works too. Oh, look, they have another car for Birmingham Luxury right there in Orlando for $500. You could take, I don't know how big of a car hauler you are. That's a 3-pack, basically.
All right, so you got Birmingham Luxury Motors. What was the other broker?
Birmingham Luxury Motors.
Ah,
it's the same company.
Okay. All right, perfect. So, Kevin, you want to call Birmingham Luxury Motors. Ask them how many they've got. Because we're seeing 3 right here, right?
Yeah, 3 right here. And I would ask them this. I would ask them for more money, because if you look at this, Bradenton is further. In Orlando, they're paying $500. And that's shorter mileage. So I would ask them to see if they give you some more money on it. Especially it's a Mustang. That's not going to be heavy. And that's lightweight. So.
They're gonna pay for the good service. They've just posted it. They're seeing how low they can go, which is normal.
That could be.
I mean,
and if you're signed up with CarsArrive, here's 2 for Orlando going into Tuscaloosa together too. Those are paying really well too.
Tampa to Alabama.
And if you wanted to stay,
could be a route.
If you wanted to stay in Orlando, you take that Orlando and you take the one for them there. And then you pick up probably in one spot, or, well, no, it's going to be 2 spots. That's Manheim, Orlando there, and this is probably a dealer. So.
Cool.
But they're dropping the same location. So that's an idea. There's plenty of loads going to Georgia if you want to go to Georgia.
Oh, and so Alabama and Georgia. And by the way, Kevin, make sure if you see it posted like CarsArrive or Assertus or ACV, that you're signed up with them, and if you are signed up with them, check their load board to make sure it's still available.
Yeah. And Metro, if you're signed up with them, it's really easy. All you have to do, I always just copy and paste this stuff. I'm not saying you want this load, but this is what you do. So you go to the Metro. That's not it.
Oh, nice. You're
That's
copy and pasting the reference ID, and then you
I
go
think
to
it's
the...
easier than
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah.
Then you just put in the reference ID right here.
Nice. Oh, that's... Oh, I didn't even know that's awesome.
Yeah. So then it's telling you right there, it's picking up in Clearwater. It's going to Augusta. It's $4.50. It's paying $1 for a mile. You put in your pickup dates, your driver's name, their phone number, click the hi, I've read, and send a request. Now, it's going to take them a couple hours to get back to you, but if you want to know if you might be possibly getting it, call them. If you can get through to them right now, I think due to COVID, it's taking forever to get stuff from them. But you can call and see if you are in the list and if you're the top one on the thing. So that way you have an idea of what's going on with that load.
And, you know, this is interesting. This is where new technology and being able to talk to somebody on a phone are kind of at odds. Because if I can talk to somebody at Birmingham and get all three right now, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, me too.
Whereas, right?
See, look, I mean, wow, these loads going to Georgia are outrageous.
Wow, $1 a mile to Atlanta? That is, you never see that.
No, it's
this is awesome.
Part of the reason is snowbird season is running late due to the COVID.
Right.
I mean, usually these loads pay. This is $200, so that'll tell you something right there. That's how much they're paying. They're not getting a move, so they're having to raise the price.
In fact, if this is one of those business principles, if you can make money right now, save it, because in 6 months you're not going to be seeing this.
Right, that's true.
And so, don't stand at truck stops saying you can make $1 a mile year round going from Tampa to Atlanta, because that just isn't true.
Yeah, see, like there's a 2-pack right there in Tampa going to Lawrenceville, Georgia for $7.50. Too, that you could stick if you were going to Atlanta. I mean, loads are good.
Jeep and the Charger.
I mean,
that's looking great.
We're just at the top of this. So look, if you want to go to Louisiana, they're paying good. If you want to go to Mississippi, they're paying good. Anything out of Florida right now should pay good.
So if you're searching out of Wichita, book a flight to Tampa.
Yes. Right. Or anywhere in Florida, you'll be good.
Which we don't ever normally say. When's the last time you said Florida getting out is good?
Only during snowbird season.
Right, exactly.
So that's 6 months ago. No, actually last year. Sorry.
That is the answer. Hey, we do have one more request, but because Kevin, it's looking good. And I like how, Sue, you just keep searching, because that's what, sometimes we get excited when we see a good route. That's exciting for us too. That's a win-win. That's what we call a touchdown.
Like, hey.
F&S asks, what's the average amount? All right, here's a question. What's the average amount of loads coming out of Florida to the Northeast?
Well,
and since
right now there's a lot.
Right, because of delayed snowbird season.
Yeah. But not usually.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's just put in.
Never take a high average and assume that that's normal. Never do that.
Yeah. Nope. Let's see what it is right now, and then I can kind of tell you what I think it is normally.
Oh, I bet it's like Holy Highway LLC. Cool. Holy Highway
LLC. There's 1,000 loads going up to the Northeast right now, is what it's showing. So I would say you're probably looking like in a normal time, maybe half of that.
Charlotte to Nashville.
And look, and still these people have these loads on here for 37 cents a mile all the way to Massachusetts. These are never going to move. Never.
Which ones?
Take that when you
yeah.
You're not going to take that. Look at this. It's going $8.75.
So
why would you take something that's $5.50?
I want to say this. Doesn't it just kind of bug you when you see the name of a company that like
Uh-huh.
implies like it's like Chanel, it's like Rodeo Drive, Beverly
Yeah,
Hills,
Prestige.
and they're posting at like, you know,
Yeah.
pay for less rates. That just in my head, it bothers me. Your branding is all
I
wrong.
think I think this. I want to.
But
I
I
really
know this
want to say
isn't
this is.
advertising, this is auto transport.
Guess
Come on,
what?
Jay.
Guess what? Guess what? What do I see there, Jay?
What?
He's a carrier. He's
Oh
a carrier.
no!
I knew he was. Okay, and this is what he's probably doing. He's
Flag on
probably
the
taking
play.
$250 off the top.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Face mask.
Yep. Yep. And just, I mean, you guys got to watch for that. Watch
15
if they're a
yards.
carrier. I mean, if we're going to talk about dispatchers being illegal, carriers listing cars is illegal. It really is illegal. And
Amen. I am so sick and tired of of it just being assumed that the dispatcher's illegal. When are people? You know, I get the feeling nobody actually wants to know the truth. Do you get the feeling?
I will bet on the yes, and I would bet on this list, probably 30% of these loads listed out of Florida are transporters listing them. Just because I know how this works.
No, and I'm gonna, I'm here to fight for the right of, this is okay. Here we go.
Here's the thing. I know everybody has a beef with brokers too, but try getting money out of a transporter who doesn't have a broker bond and refuses to pay you. Then talk to me about whether brokers are bad, because at least on a broker you can go get on their bond, file against their bond, and you will get paid.
Right. Whereas the carrier without a broker bond who's pretending to be an illegal dispatcher, you got no recourse.
Nope. You'd have to go up there and find them, and good luck with that one too. I've had people try to do that, but
they're
never
too,
there.
That sounds insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll camera, because that is not going to go well.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a good one, wouldn't it?
All right, so Big Will is doing Charlotte to Nashville, Nashville to Charlotte, maybe Atlanta, maybe Indy, and he's an 8 car.
Okay, well, that's a tough run. I don't do that one. I have a 10 car out of Charlotte too, and so let's just do this.
But I'm guessing Big Will already knows that. Big Will, you're talking to like More Transport, Crown Auto Transport, Supreme Auto Transport, right? All those companies that do full loads. What I'd be curious of is, if you do have relationships with those full load companies, how's their inventory and capacity right now? I'm going to guess it tightened up.
That's true. So I just put in Charlotte with a minimum of 2 vehicles is what I put in. This is what I have a 10 car that's based out of Charlotte. And when I'm looking for loads, this is how I start. I know he's only wanting to go a certain way, but I will tell you those loads going to Tennessee and back are very few and far between. I very rarely do them. This is a good load right there.
And there's Birmingham Luxury Motors again. Give them a call.
Yep.
I think everybody should call Birmingham Luxury Motors.
They're going to get 50 million phone calls. We saw
right.
you.
Who's this guy, Jay?
I think you might. There's a 5-pack with this one going into Oxford. I don't know if that would work with what you got.
It's interesting.
Or not.
It might be a tad short, because you'd want to pick up same day if you could.
Yeah, they're in the same vicinity, so you could make that work. Oh, sorry, I keep losing my pages here. I know you guys are seeing 43 cents a mile, but with a 10-car hauler, you don't have the time in your ELD to make all these picks and drops. So my driver would have said, yes, do it. Yeah. Actually, I like this load better, going to Montgomery. But I don't know what those loads are. So
let's go see it. What is the mix? Because, you're not going to get 50 cents a mile a car on a cluster load like that. And as soon as I said that, somebody's going to say, Jay, I got $1 a mile a car on a 9-car load. And I'm rich and I just bought a yacht.
Who and where, because I want to call them next. Okay. Okay, so it's okay. Here's the problem with this one. Okay, so it's not big, huge vehicles. It's got a Tahoe in there, but you got two
Oh,
pickups in Charlotte, and you got two pickups in or two deliveries in Montgomery. My driver would tell me no because he only wants a minimum of two pickups, two deliveries, and that's not including anything else to go with it. So we
yeah.
would be talking more than that right
So the
now.
feedback from MetroLoads here is when you have multiple pickups, multiple deliveries. I mean, this
Just
is
put
a,
it there.
yeah, this is a gray area as far as what people think
Yeah.
is. I don't even know how to finish that sentence, and I'm tired of it. I've moved on.
And then like there's a couple going to Tuscaloosa on here too that are paying decent. But keep in mind Tuscaloosa is about what 50 miles southwest of Birmingham.
Well,
So you're
yeah,
gonna pay extra.
Tuscaloosa, Tuscaloosa. It gets a little bit. It just feels a little bit far away.
Yeah.
But it depends
It
on how.
depends.
If you know the area, shoot, yeah. Your favorite barbecue place is just probably down the road. Hey, y'all mind checking into Atlanta? Big Will says Atlanta. And that's another thing. If you're a dispatcher, listen to your driver, talk to your driver, because there's things he knows about the route that you have no idea about. He might have a favorite repair shop, favorite breakfast place, favorite motel. He might know the scales there. Those guys are nice to him. There's all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so here's a 3-pack from Charlotte to Mount Juliet for you on there right now. If you're looking, if you're signed up with wholesale, but they're the
Yeah,
ones that are the year,
I like that.
and you have to have 100 ratings, that kind of thing. That's a good load,
So
actually.
yeah, Big Will,
And
are you set up with wholesale?
Assertus,
Give him a call. Yeah,
Assertus has another 2-pack that are two Honda Civics right there, going into
right there.
Nashville as well.
Wow,
They're
same.
paying good.
Look at that, same zip code in Charlotte.
So it's probably Odessa or something like that, or
Or
Manheim, one of
dealer,
those
yeah,
two.
yeah.
So that's 5 units right there. What do you say it was, an 8 or 9?
He said he's an 8.
Okay, well
Oh,
there's
oh well,
5.
actually, he has a 9-car Boydston.
Okay, so I would take those 2 packs, and then I would pull up a separate page for single units and see what else was going that direction. And that way, I mean, I don't know what your parameters are as far as like if you want to pick up in multiple places, drop in multiple places, but just
Right.
keep in mind that when you do that with the driver, him getting picked back up the very next day and moving down the road is going to make it really hard to do.
Yeah. Well, especially if
And,
there's
and
any problems with
money.
any of the vehicles, like
Yeah.
paperwork issues or location
Yeah.
issues. And I just want to say this, Big Will. So the recap is we're looking at Charlotte to Nashville, and the two we're looking at was Assertus and wholesale.
Yep.
That would be a starting
And look,
point.
Curtis has another random one right here for 250. And oh, actually, they have another. They may have these listed separately.
In fact, when I said Nashville, are we talking? Is there more Mount Juliet than Nashville, or is it a mix?
These are all going. These right here, these 3 or 4 are all going to Mount Juliet. This
Cool.
is going to Nashville.
That's
This
good.
is Nashville.
Okay.
So, and Wednesday is the day for auction day in Mount Juliet. Just keep in mind, though, the auction is not totally up to speed yet, partly from the tornado that took it out and partly because of COVID.
And
So just keep that in mind.
And there's another incredible resource that people need is what day is auction day, right?
Yeah.
Man,
Yes,
that could be
absolutely.
that'd be an incredible national database resource, Sue.
I used to keep track, like IA has certain days and Copart has certain days. So if you're sending people into a certain area, you want to send them on the days. I don't, on IA and Copart, I recommend the day after the auction because a lot of them don't pay for the loads until the next day. Now at Mount Juliet, usually those are dealerships, so they're going to pay for them by floor plan. They're usually ready the same day they buy them. So just keep that in mind when you're loading to go to certain areas and coming back out of certain areas. I do know that Mount Juliet back to North Carolina has been very, very rough for probably the last 2.5, 3 months, it's been almost non-existent, or there's just 1 or 2 loads after the day of the auction that loads are popping up. So it's tight getting back out. You'd be better off probably taking, once you get to Tennessee, if you're wanting to stay kind of close, then I would either run out of Tennessee up north to Ohio or St. Louis or Chicago, or down to Atlanta, or right now Orlando would be a great place too, because you can get back out.
Nice. That's Sue at Murphy Auto Transport, guys. If you have a question for Sue, what's your email address again? Murphy Auto
Transport 31 at yahoo.com.
Yahoo.com. So there's Sue's email address. Murphy Auto Transport 31 at yahoo.com. And if you want to go to the site, go to murphyautotransportservices.com.
I mean, between Assertus has a bunch on here going. They're multiple pickups. They do have more stuff going to Mount Juliet, because there's one right here in Lincolnton going to Mount Juliet, Jeep Wrangler. They also have this one, it's going in Nashville, and then they had one going into Franklin, Tennessee too. So between all of these, if Greensboro's way up there, so if you're not up there, I don't recommend it.
Right.
But between these two, you could get yourself loaded. I will tell you, wholesale and Metro are not going to give you loads way out in advance. It's usually only a day, so just keep that in mind. Unless it's a hard run, then they'll give them to you. But wholesale's rule is only 1 day in advance, and Metro usually is only 1 day in advance as well. CarsArrive, if you're set up with CarsArrive, that's a really good paying load right there.
That is good. Hey, Michael says hello, Sue.
Hey, Mike. CarsArrive, you can book out in advance as long as their load board allows you to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Their load board has that little calendar, and you click the days.
Yeah. In fact, this is how I do them too. All you do is copy and paste their page. I got so many pages going up here. So then all you got to do is, this is CarsArrive. You paste in the number, and you just go submit.
I can't find it.
I'm gonna say this too. Hey, if you are looking for more information about load boards in general, check out my top 12 load boards video. I just posted that in the live chat.
Okay, so this load is on here. So all you would do, if you're signing up with CarsArrive, you probably know how to do this, but you would view the load.
Right.
And then you accept it, and then from there you have to put in your driver's name, phone number, your dates, and how you want to get paid. I can't accept it, otherwise I'm going to be in that load. So,
right, you'll be in the bucket. Great information, great stuff. And by the way, Craig, thanks for just joining in. Listen, and if you just joined in recently, you're still with us. We're going to wrap it up for the day. This is Dispatching Live. We go live every Thursday at noon. It's a 1-hour show, but we keep running in closer to 90 minutes because there's a lot of interest, and we really appreciate it. So please remember to like, share, tell your friends, tell other drivers, carriers, brokers, dispatchers, dealers, whoever you talk to. You got to check out Auto Transport Intel. They go live 4 times a week. It's the Car Shipping Business Channel. Sue, I think I'm going to give you the rest of the day off.
Okay, well, I wish, but I guess I'll go back to work.
I know, dang it. Well, I just took control of your screen. Sue, I want to thank you so much for what you do. And this show gets better and better, and I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Your information is extremely valuable. So, guys, if you're looking for help, if you have a question, and maybe it's basic, maybe it's controversial, contact Sue, MurphyAutoTransportServices.com, because we're really trying to disseminate real information. Dispatching is hard, and if you hear somebody say that dispatchers are illegal, ask them why. Find out what you can do to correct that in the eyes of the law if there's a problem, which keep watching the information. But essentially, we want to make sure that carriers are staying loaded and profitable so that we can keep the auto transport industry where it needs to be.
Absolutely.
Sue, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll be in touch with you soon.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Thanks, everybody.
Peace out. All right, I'm gonna wrap up the show here. Let's go to the home screen. Let's go ahead and exit that. Oh, well, let me exit that. Listen, seriously, if you have a question and you're looking for advice, and if whether you're just starting out or you've been in this business a while, or maybe you've been saying, you know what, a year or two ago everything was great, and now things really aren't as great as they were, and it's time to change up my business model or look at other opportunities, expand education on what's going on in auto transport. Because I guarantee it's not just the couple of guys that you work with all the time and move vehicles. If their capacity, inventory, or route changes, find out more about. There are all kinds of ways and reasons why vehicles are transported. Dealerships, auctions, recovery. There's so much out there. There are trade shows, and then there's the Car Shipping Business Channel. So thank you guys so much for joining us again for another Thursday Dispatching Live. You know what? I just want to say that thank you, Gerard, for that, and Brian and Michael and everybody tuning in. Is that don't kill the messenger? You're right, and I'm a messenger too. So I appreciate when people come on the show, even if they've got bad news. I appreciate them coming on the show and sharing bad news, and that goes for you. If you're sitting there watching and you're still on the wait and see list, get off that list. Call me. Email me. autotransportintel@gmail.com. Let's bring your company, product, or service into the sunlight. The car shipping industry is growing and expanding, and more people are talking about car shipping than they were before. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys tomorrow with Cars on the Move at noon. That'll be me and Ty. Please join us for that. Here comes the schedule. You guys stay safe, and I'll see you soon.